Hi everyone and welcome to Katha by Shraddha. I know that we have been missing in action for a really long time, and the reason was that the crew of Katha was down thanks to the pandemic, but now we are back. We are back on our feet and here for you with many stories. I want to extend my sincere gratitude to all of you who reached out to us, who actually messaged me via the YouTube channel, via Facebook, with WhatsApp, asking after our health and saying, we haven't seen you in a while. No katha has been posted lately. Are you okay? And I have to say that was incredibly touching. So thank you everyone who reached out to me. And I'll start this episode with that thought that if you are thinking about someone or are feeling something for someone, do reach out to them. Reach out with just a positive word or a sentence. We never know what a difference that will make in someone's life. Believe you me, the messages that we got saying, come back soon, we want to see another katha, hope you're well. Just those few words gave us such a boost. So now we're back and hopefully with many more exciting stories for you. So let's dive right in. The story that we are bringing to you today is about a boy called Dashrath. He was born to a family who was of the Musahar tribe in a small village called Gilor, near Gaya in Bihar. Now, Dashrath was a very healthy and a good kid growing up, but he was not very happy with the way his life was going because actually the work the family did was catching of rats, and he felt that he could do more. So he actually ran away from home as a kid and worked for about 7 or 8 years outside of his home in the coal mines. And then he returned back to his village. He fell in love with a girl and actually got married to her. Her name was Phalguni Devi. And Dashrath and Phalguni Devi started living in the village and, living a good life, working hard and, earning just as much as they needed in order to survive. Now, Dashrath worked in fields, but to reach the fields, the way Gilor was placed near the Gilor hills, one side of the hill, the north of the hill, was the Gilor village and other villages like that. But for work, they had to go all the way around the range of hills. And that was about 55 to 70 kilometers of a trek to go all the way around and go to the place of their work. Or it was a very, very, very risky climb over the hill to go to the other side where there were towns and fields where these laborers worked. So this was the kind of life that Dashrath and Phalguni Devi were living. Now, they had a baby boy, and then Phalguni Devi was pregnant again when in 1960, she was climbing the hill to take a tiffin and water for her husband who was laboring in the fields across the hill, across Gilor Hills. And as she started traversing the hill, and she did this every single day, taking his tiffin in the afternoon for him. But that particular day, she actually had a bad fall. She fell and she was severely injured. And Dashrath kept waiting and waiting and waiting for his wife, who was supposed to come to him with his lunch and his water, and she never showed up. Until a villager rushed to him and told him that, your wife is lying injured and she fell off the hill. So Dashrath rushed to Phalguni Devi's side, and she was really injured, and they somehow took her, and they took her by the treacherous road and the whole 55 kilometers because there was no hospital. There were no medical facilities, no services near their village. So they actually traversed a really long, long, long road all the way around the hill, the mountain, the range of hills, to a hospital in the nearest town. But unfortunately, he lost Phalguni Devi. It took just too long to get her medical attention. And this really, really upset Dashrath. He just couldn't believe that he had lost his wife just because there was no access road, no quick access to medical services. And he was furious. He was so furious that he took a vow to break the mountain, to break the hill that was in between and that stood in the way of his village and basic services. And Dashrath started with just a hammer and a chisel. And this man started literally chiseling away at the hill, at the mountain in front of him. He chiseled and chiseled day after day after day. And people told him he was crazy, and they said, nobody can, break a mountain with a hammer and chisel. It's just not going to happen. Give up. What are you doing? Are you crazy? And he said, no, it was like what we call a junoon, right? This was something that he persevered at, and he just would not give up. He kept chiseling at that mountain, and he chiseled without any help from the government, without any other machinery. And he chiseled and chiseled and chiseled. And unbelievably, he actually carved a path through that hill. It took him 22 years. He started in 1960 and he finished in 1982. 22 years of hard labor in the hot sun, through drought, through famine, through all the emergency period that India was going through at that time. Through all of that, Dashrath kept chiseling with just one mission, one goal in mind, was to carve that path from his village to the nearest accessible services in the big town. And he did it. He actually carved a 360-foot long road, 30 feet deep and 25 feet wide. Isn't that an amazing story? It is a true story. The man is Dashrath Manji, also known as the Mountain Man. Dashrath's story brings home to us that if we hold a thought very close to our heart, a goal or a mission so close to our heart that we can think and do nothing else, there is no mountain that cannot be broken. It is possible. We just need to persevere. I hope you liked that inspiring story, and we will be back with more such stories. Thank you for watching. Bye.